As you may have heard, there's a presidential debate happening tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, out in Denver, Colorado. President Obama and Mitt Romney ready to do battle, and Cillizza from The Fix ready to break it down for us with some fancy charts and graphs.
I love it.
What we can expect. So slide number one,
sure.
Professor Cillizza.
This is great. My mother always wanted me to be a college professor. So.
Okay, we can call you doctor if you want.
No, it's fine. I don't want to get any resume inflation situation.
Expectations high for Dr. Obama.
Yeah, look, this is one thing that's fascinating, I think. So these are the 4 polls that have been conducted literally within the last 3 or 4 days, and they ask, who do you expect to win the debate? As you can see, a majority in every single one of these independent polls say Obama. Romney doesn't get above 30, but barely in CNN. Anytime you appear on stage with the President of the United States, people see you in that frame. They say, oh, this guy looks like he's up to the task. Again, assuming that Romney comes across as credible, serious, knowledgeable about the issues of the day, he's likely to benefit a little bit from the fact that everyone thinks that Obama's going to win.
So then let's jump to slide 2.
Sure.
Romney in a bit of trouble, especially in swing state polls. Can he make up the difference? What does history tell us?
Well, this is fascinating. So this is a chart that basically just says, here's where they stood roughly before the debates, and here's what happened at the end. And what you see generally, from 08 down to 1960 is, with the exception of 60 really, Nixon, Kennedy, the person who went into the debates ahead usually wound up winning. Now, there are cases. You saw Clinton here in 96. He was up 18. He wound up winning by 8.5. I just think it's important to remember that, yes, lots and lots of people watch these. Yes, they are among the most significant events in the campaign because lots and lots of people watch them. But they do not mean that the election will all of a sudden flip over and the dynamic of the race that we've seen in place for 18 months will change.
So let's go to our final slide just so we can endorse
That's my favorite
cliche. So who's watching these things?
Yeah, this is so fascinating. So the people at Google did this, and this is great stuff. Basically, as you can see, this is simply kind of an age chart and then who watches. 65 plus, 42%. 42% of people 65 plus are planned to watch the debate. This is also, in truth, this is in some ways a chart that you could use of who's going to vote. Older folks tend to be the ones that are the most engaged in debates and the most engaged in voting. For Obama to win, and he did this in 08, for Obama to win, he really needs 18 to 24. They don't necessarily have to watch the debate. They'll probably pick it up on Twitter or on Facebook, those sorts of things, watch it on YouTube later or thewashingtonpost.com. But he has to get those people engaged to vote. Them watching the debate or not is not a great indicator of whether they will vote or not. But I do think it's a reminder that if you're wondering who watches these things, it's folks who are 65 and older.
Conventional wisdom is Romney has to swing for the fences tonight. What do you expect?
Mitt Romney is not a super dynamic debater. We saw him through 20-odd debates in the Republican presidential primaries. He was steady. He was consistent. He was able to beat back attacks from his rivals. I don't know that we should expect him to emerge as this amazing debater and shine. I don't think actually his strategy will be to swing for the fences because I think they don't believe that they need to. Now, you can dispute whether that's true or not, but I think they think, look, there's a tightening in national polls so far this week. The nature of the electorate in these swing states is that it's very evenly divided, even if polling shows Obama ahead right now. So why take a big swing, get ourselves off balance, and potentially leave ourselves open to a counterattack? I think he will be the aggressor. I don't think there's any question about that. I think he will try to take the fight to Barack Obama and play offense. But I don't expect him to kind of throw the Hail Mary in the first 30 minutes of the debate. Maybe on the third debate later this month, if the polls are still where they are nationally in swing states, then I think desperation and kind of panic sets in and maybe he tries it. But I don't think we're there yet. Of course, at 9:01, I could be proven totally wrong.
We'll find out. It's 6 areas of domestic policy tonight, and Chris will be following your coverage on thewashingtonpost.com.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Okay, yesterday she offered President Obama advice. Today, Karen Tumulty on what Mitt Romney should be thinking about tonight in Denver.
I'm Karen Tumulty, and here are my debate prep tips for you, Mitt Romney. First, don't telegraph your punches like you did here in your interview on Good Morning America.
President Obama as a debater. What are you looking for?
Well, I think he's going to say a lot of things that aren't accurate. And, I'd be tempted to go back to that wonderful line by Ronald Reagan, there you go again.
Second, keep your cool. And remember, debates are a contact sport, but only rhetorically, not physically.
You had the
Rick, I'm speaking.
I'm speaking. The newspaper.
I'm speaking.
Time for you to tell the truth.
You get 30 seconds.
Time for you
this
to
is
tell
the way the rules
Mitt.
work here is that I get 60 seconds.
Well, no, but the American
and then you get 30
truth.
seconds to respond, right?
And they want
Anderson?
to hear.
Third, don't say things that will come back to haunt you. This exchange, for instance, probably cost you any chance you had with Hispanics.
Well, the answer is self-deportation, which is people decide that they can do better by going home because they can't find work here because they don't have legal documentation to allow them to work here.
Fourth, play offense, not just defense.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were a big part of why we have the housing crisis in the nation that we have. And we've had this discussion before. Speaker Gingrich was hired by Freddie Mac to promote them. I think instead we should have had a whistleblower and not a horn tooter.
Fifth, be specific, but on your own terms, as you were here with Teddy Kennedy.
I don't believe the American people or even a Democratic Congress were willing to accept a government takeover our health care plan. And that was the error I think you made.
And the sixth lesson, don't remind people how rich you are.
Rick, I'll tell you what. 10,000 bucks? $10,000 bet?
I'm not in the betting business,
Oh,
but
okay.
So, Governor Romney, you've gotten a lot of practice, especially over the last year and a half. You've learned some lessons. Let's see how well you put them to use.